Hello, Melissa B here. How is everybody today? Hope you're all fantastic. Welcome to a Tuesday night carnivore chat. I'm very excited tonight to have Limitless Lindy on. She has an incredible story to share with you all. I think we'll just wait for her to jump on and she can tell you all about it. Very excited for tonight's carnivore chat. So, just give me a moment and I will get her on. And will be joining us at Carnivore Live at the end of the month. If you haven't bought your tickets yet, there are still tickets left. Just go to the link in my bio. That didn't work. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello to everybody jumping on. Welcome. Let's get Lindy jumping on with us in a minute. Wherever you're watching from, I hope you're staying warm. If you're in Australia, it's starting to get nice and cool. Here in Adelaide, got the heater on, so yeah, getting a bit like that. All right, Lindy, did you get that invite? Hopefully. Oh,
hi.
Hello.
I was waiting for the invite on the computer, but it doesn't work. I don't see.
Oh well, I'm always using my phone, so I don't know the correct answer to that, but you're probably right.
Yeah, that's okay. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very busy in the lead up to the event, but really good.
Excellent.
And you?
I'm doing well. Long day, but yeah, it's nice to be home. We've been out and about all day, which is nice. So yeah.
Actually, me too. I've also just arrived home after a very busy day. So, well, it's lovely to have you here. Great to have people joining us to hear your amazing story. And I've done already a little intro, but I'll hand it over to you. I would love to know about you, your story, how you came to carnivore, what you've achieved, where you're at now. It's all yours.
Goodness. Okay, where to start? Long story
Yeah.
short. I'm 53 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia. Mum to two beautiful girls. I've been overweight all my life. I grew up in an Italian family, so food was very important to the family, that you celebrate all the time. Food was always on the table. Yeah, comfort food was my big issue. When things happen, Nonna, my beautiful Nonna, would always say, "Come over here, Lindy, here's some chocolate, whatever." It was always that comfort thing. So growing up, whenever you were in sort of diet, things were happening, it was always turning to food for comfort. So that's, I guess, when, I don't know, I'm not blaming my grandparents or anything, but yeah, bad habits sort of set in there. 21st birthday, I was around probably very close to 140 kilos. I
Mm-hmm.
tried lots of diets, just wasn't doing anything. I just struggled a lot. So I decided to have lap band surgery. Went to the doctors, they said, "This is the cure, this will fix you." I'm like, yeah, okay. So they put me on those Optifast shakes and I lost a little bit of weight on that, but obviously that's not sustainable. And then had the lap band surgery. It worked for a little bit, but you kind of learn all the tricks. It's not fixing the issue, is it? You still, mentally, I'm still turning to food for comfort. You work out what foods you can have and you sort of get around it. And so, long story short, I ballooned. My parents they had cancer. I was caring for my mum. Dad was living in Queensland at the time. I lost them both when I was around 36 years old. My daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the same time that mum was diagnosed with cancer, so I was caring for them. My self-care went out the window. I was just focused on, like a robot, taking them to the medical appointments, whatever, and working full time at the same time. I was tired. I was just my my self-care, I just didn't care. I was just like a robot on autopilot, didn't think of anything. I then lost my mum. My daughter at that stage, she was like, "Oh well, I'm fine. I'm moving out with my friends," and she left, and here I was by myself, thinking, "Okay, who's Lindy?" I had no idea who I was anymore, and yeah, I just sort of fell into a really deep depression. Didn't want to be here anymore. Didn't know who I was. Turned to food again and ate my way through to. I couldn't tell you what my highest weight was. I bought those scales, the 1,000, or the, was it Tammy Slayton, the 1,000 pound sisters or whatever it is. And they had these scales that go up to like 320 kilos. And I bought those scales because I couldn't stand on a normal set of scales. Got those and error. 320 kilos, and I had error for a couple of years. And I'm like, these scales must be broken. I can't be as bigger than these ladies. But I couldn't do anything about it. I was like, what do I do? So I basically, I was working at the time. I started working from home. Got to the point where I couldn't leave the house anymore. I was too big. I literally walked from the bedroom into my study, and all my work was done online. It was all email based. Nobody saw me. And so it was really great with what I did. But they all thought, because my clients were in America, they thought, oh, this cool Aussie chick in Australia doing all their work, but they never saw what was behind the screen. So I was very good at what I did, and they all loved me, but they had no idea who they were dealing with on the other side of the screen. So I was like living a secret, secret life kind of. But that's what kept me going. And yeah, so fast forward, 50th birthday. I was over 320 kilos, obviously, but yeah, I don't know what it was. But 50th birthday, I thought to myself, well, this is the age that I pretty much lost my mum. And here I am looking at my two girls thinking, if I don't change, they're going to be without a mum, same age. And I just couldn't have that. And this is when my sister said she had lost quite a lot of weight doing keto, and said, why don't you follow Dr. Berry? And she sent me the links on YouTube, and I sort of followed him and tried keto for 6 months. And I failed miserably, doing all the macros and trying to count, and, keto lasagna, keto cheesecake. I mean, wow, it's like comfort food heaven, but it's keto, so you can have double portions, and, you can still get around with a lap band. I could still get, and so that wasn't going to help me at all. And then I saw the carnivore videos and thought, okay, well, give this a try. Thought he was crazy, Dr. Berry, promoting carnivore, just eat meat. But it had got to the stage that, I didn't care anymore. And it's like I was a burden on my family, and I was depressed. I would wake up crying because I woke up. I didn't want to wake up. I just hated my life so much. I was miserable. And so I just thought, well, it's either going to work. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought I was going to die of a heart attack or have colon cancer. That was my quick way out, because what I was doing was killing myself slowly, eating myself to death, and I just couldn't stop. I didn't have an off switch, or I was just broken. I felt like a failure as a mum. I felt like a failure because I couldn't restrict my food. I couldn't moderate. I just failed every diet. I failed lap band. There was nothing. I had no hope. So this is my way out, was to eat carnivore and not be around, which is a terrible way to start, to think.
Yeah.
So I started carnivore in January 2021, and I kind of struggled a little bit. So I signed up with SBG, Steak and Butter Gang. and I signed up for coaching and had Coach Emily and Coach Raymond double because she was still in training and they, needed the help because I was a, very high risk patient, if you like, or so yeah, I did coaching for about six months, and they saved my life. They just sort of walked me through Carnivore. They helped me keep, on plan. They have like fasting and priming and protocols, but because I had the lap band, it was difficult for me to eat meat, but they were able to talk me through it, teach me, how to eat and what to eat, and really just guided me and held my hand and kept me accountable for 6 months. I lost, I'm in US mode now,
Yeah.
300 pounds or so, like literally nearly 150 kilos within 3.5 months or something. Like it was all
Wow.
fluid. Yeah, I was like so full of fluid edema. I have lymphedema, and a lot of water weight just went. So that was amazing. Yeah, and it sounds like it's a lot of people say you can't lose that much fat at once. It's like it's all water weight. I was like a Michelin man. I was so swollen.
Wow.
I was walking again, up and down the hall, and just I was just feeling amazing. Yes, I lost a lot of weight. Within 9 months, I went on my first cruise with my girlfriend, so that was good. And then by the next following January, I bought myself a new car because I could fit behind the steering wheel again. So,
Wow.
I've lost it. Yeah. So I'm down to, I'm still overweight. I'm about 130 kilos. I've just had skin removal surgery, 9
Yeah.
kilos of skin just in my stomach.
Wow.
Just all this weight has gone, but I'm still a big girl, still on my
Oh, wow.
journey, but I am moving again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I did have type 2 diabetes. That's now gone.
Wow.
I've got lipedema, both not reversed, but they're manageable. Like I don't have the lipedema pain anymore. My lymphedema, all the swelling has literally gone. I don't have a big issue. I still sort of swell up and, different things can trigger it. But as long as I stay strict carnivore, I can manage it really well. Yeah, so I've been through carnivore 3 years now. And
Wow.
why carnivore worked for me is because it gave me that off switch that I never had. I didn't even know it existed. So, yeah.
Oh, so many questions. So many questions. And I guess what I think people want to hear in regards to your experience, but like you talked about trying so many things and them not working, and there's a belief system change that you had to make at a certain point. But what I find is that once you start to feel and see results, it fuels you to keep going, and it helps that belief system shift and change. And how soon did that happen for you, going from, oh, nothing's ever worked for me, to, oh my goodness, this is actually working for me? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, look, probably, 4 weeks in, I had so much fluid had gone out of my body and I was able to move. I was a lot more mobile and my joints didn't hurt as much. So I knew I was on a good thing. The clarity, and I used to pass out all the time. Like I'd get up and come in here to start working and I'd go to sleep on my desk and I'd end up on the couch. I just couldn't stay awake. I wasn't diagnosed with sleep apnea, but I do believe I had it because I just couldn't stay awake and fall asleep mid-sentence. I mean, at that size, you don't go to the doctors, you don't go to the dentist because you can't fit in the chairs, and so I was just housebound and did nothing. But yeah, pretty much straight away I felt relief and just getting rid of that inflammation in my joints and body. I knew I was on the right path.
Wow. I actually spoke with a gentleman who contacted me last week or the week before, and you know, it wasn't the case for me because my transition was different. But he had lived his whole life with joint pain in his knees, and you know, he's an older gentleman, and somebody's just randomly sent him a video of Dr. Chapman, and he started watching it. He said, I've got nothing to lose. Like, I don't know what else to do. I've got no idea what to do going forward. I may as well try this. And he literally claims that overnight his knee pain went away. And where he wasn't even able to walk to the shops, he bought himself a gopher to get to the shops. Like, he is now walking to the shops, bawling his eyes out, like, how did this even happen? How can this be true? And there's an anger about him, he says too, because this was just such a simple transition. And how did I not know about this, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see how it can positively impact people very, very quickly, especially with that inflammation and the flaring up of joints and, you know, arthritis and all those body aches and pains.
Yeah.
So,
And I've been carrying around a lot of weight, obviously, over these years. So my body is very, broken. I have a very sore hip. I thought I would need a hip replacement. I'm not even thinking about that now. Like, I still have a little bit of hip pain left, but most of that is gone. And I had neuropathy in my feet. I couldn't feel my toes at all. I have total feeling back in my toes. Yeah, that's all come back. And these are things I had no idea they would heal. I thought, the damage is done and, it is what it is. But these things are fixing themselves. And yeah, it's just amazing how healing this way of life
I was
is.
just about to say, what a beautiful example of how healing this way of eating and this lifestyle is for the body. You give the body the right fuel and it actually knows how to heal itself. Wow. How did it change you as a person, shedding all those physical layers? Because I often find that when we shed physical layers, then these emotional layers kind of come out and are exposed. So you said it helped you from a mindset perspective, or mental clarity, which is very common. We all say that, we hear that. What did it feel like for you during that time?
Oh gosh, look, I'm the shy one. I'm the one that blends in with the wall and just disappears. I don't like to be out there in the spotlight or anything. And here I am now sharing my story with the world. Like, I've gained this confidence, which, yeah, it shocks me. I thought I'd be the last person on YouTube for sure. But yeah, just everything. I just feel so much more patient these days. I've got that carnivore calm that everyone talks about. But yeah, the confidence was a big thing for me to actually, just get out there and be able to talk to people. And I've been housebound for 6 years. I just couldn't leave the house and was scared to get out there. And now I am. I'm out there again doing things. And I'm still nervous, but I'm nervous about speaking in front of all these people at the carnival.
We are very excited to have you at the event in Melbourne. It will be a really great opportunity for you to step up and take a next level up in regards to that regaining of confidence, which I'm very excited to be there with you. And Bella obviously has played a big role in this journey for you. Tell me a bit about your friendship and relationship with Bella and the team over there.
Yeah, no, well, I joined Steak and Butter Gang. I followed Bella for quite a few months, and I thought she was amazing, and just joined in the community, and it's what I needed. The community. I actually sat there for about a month, camera off. I didn't say anything, never raised my hand or made, me, Lindy, hiding in the back as usual, and I hadn't met Bella or anything, and then I signed up for coaching with Raymond and Emily, and still had camera off probably about 6 or 8 months. Just didn't turn my camera on at all or show my face because I see all these people on the screen. It's a Zoom call, and everyone just looked beautiful. And here I was, this large woman, and I just felt like the freak in the room. And that's how just had no confidence and just didn't like myself, and I didn't want anyone else to see me, so I was just in hiding. But yeah, I don't know. It just being part of the community. Eventually, I got to meet Ella, like we got chatting, and yeah, it's just, I'm part of the furniture now. Like I can't leave. I love it there so much. I just love hearing everybody's stories, and it keeps me motivated and on track. Like I did leave for about 2 months, and because I thought I know everything now, I don't need any more help. But as soon as you leave, all those voices, people saying, "Oh, just have one biscuit; it's not going to hurt," and they start telling you you're going to die of cancer and your cholesterol, and you need your fibre and the rainbow of colours, and all these things start to, play on your mind, and so you just think, okay, well, one biscuit's not going to hurt, and there goes a packet, and then the next, and it just starts you on that spiral. And I'm weak like that, and this is why the community grounds me. I have to immerse myself in the community and with people that are my tribe, and that's what is, Steak and Gang is to me. I need them just as much as I think they need me now. I just love it. I just love to share my story, and I love to help motivate people. And, I talk to a lot of people within the community and just help them along. We need each other to help each other through what's going on around here. So
I agree with that. I also find with my conversations, especially with people coming along to the events, they're so excited to be able to come to a space where they feel part of a community that supports their choices, understands them. They have the freedom to just be who they are. Oftentimes they can feel quite lonely and isolated initially as they're transitioning. Once they get to a certain point where they're like, this is part of their everyday life, it's who they are. I think you like you said, you build that confidence, and you're happy to stand up and be very confident with what you're doing, and lead by example, I guess. But in the initial stages, I think I hear it all the time, like a little bit isolated, a little bit lonely, and that's where community like that comes in handy. And events like the ones that I've been putting on is the opportunity for people to come and have that human connection, especially in person. The energy of a group of carnivores is very special, because everyone's just, like you said, wanting to share their stories and share experiences and support each other. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think people should respect the way you want to eat. Like, I don't have a problem with vegans, and if you want to have the sad diet, if you can do that, that's fine, and you're kicking goals and you're feeling healthy. Do what you like. Like, it doesn't bother me, but don't tell me what I should do, because I found what's working for me. I've got my off switch now. I feel this is sustainable for me. So don't give me a hard time. I won't give you a hard time. And everyone should be happy, but they're not.
Yeah.
They've always got to say something. And like, I don't let it bother me anymore, but it did get me down at the start. But
yeah, and it makes sense, because you are doing something that is so different from what people are used to. And I always say to anyone I speak to, have your own experience and lead by example. You don't have to answer to anybody. You just do what's right for you. Make your own choices, which is great. I've got a question about now, how do you eat? Like, what does a typical day look like for you? Are you doing more lion diet or carnivore, where you're having, animal products, including dairy? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, I don't do dairy because I get a lot of inflammation from that. So it kind of interferes with my lymphedema and that. So I stay away from dairy, mainly red meat. I like my beef, and I like a bit of lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do pork or chicken because they make me feel ill. So they're off the table for me. I might do a little bit of bacon, but even that's, like, if I go out and we do bacon and eggs for breakfast, I'll have some, but I don't always feel optimal, like, after I've eaten that. And I do like my eggs. So yeah, it's lined with eggs, maybe.
Yeah, yes.
Just keep
Oh,
it simple. And
Yeah,
it's difficult with the lap band. I still have the restriction there, so I'm pretty much like a bird. I just sort of peck at my food all day, and just I
mm,
have to sort of graze, and I can't sit down and eat a whole steak like a big meal like everyone else. So that's all. That's a little bit of a pain because I can't enjoy a nice big steak, and but it works. It
yeah,
works. So
make it
yeah,
work. I'm glad you talked a bit about the lap band because I actually know of someone quite close to me who has a lap band and has been through a bit of this, so I'm quite familiar with that. But just to share the knowledge with others, of how it's kind of impacted you or not really impacted you in implementing carnivore. Great.
yeah. You do have to be mindful because under eating is a big issue on carnivore, and when you do have restriction, and then your meat is very satiating, you do tend to
Mhm.
undereat, and
Yes.
that tanks your metabolism, and then your hair starts falling out, and you think, people say restrict, restrict, restrict. Well, I'm restricting not by choice, and everything stops, and I have to ramp it up and do like a little bit of a prime. So just when we do priming, I do like a gentle prime, and that's eating all day.
Yeah.
And I have a bowl of food, and I just take bite every, whenever I can, and just try to get the food into me. And then I just tend to automatically fast after that because I'm not hungry. But I try for like 2 or 3 days, try to just eat as much as I can, and then I go wild and just fast until I'm ready again. And that's how I sort of combat that. But I always have to make an effort to, when I start to get craving, think, okay, I'm undernourished. I need to start priming and eat the food again. So I know that's my little trigger is to eat more meat when I get those cravings, and it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever, this is an interesting question I had yesterday from somebody. Do you ever get sick of eating meat?
No. No, I enjoy it. I did get sick. I was eating porterhouse when I first started, and I ate that every day.
Yeah.
And I can't eat porterhouse now. I eat too
Mhm.
much fillet. But now, yeah, I love changing things up. So I do a lot of slow cooked meats, like brisket in a slow cooker. When I went to Austin last year, they were making smoked meat and like that big Traeger smoker. Well, I had to come home and the girls bought me one for my birthday, so I was so happy.
Nice.
Yeah, on the weekend I put a great big roast on in the smoker, and then that's meat for the week. We chop it
Yes.
up and I put it in the air fryer, crisp it up, or I make jerky out of it. Do roast lamb in that, so you get that smoky flavour. So that's a new favourite as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, I don't get sick of meat. I love it. I love that I don't have to cook. I love my air fryer, like the
Oh,
simplicity.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got an air fryer. I'm just making a lot of mess on my gas stove.
No, you need an air fryer. I love
Yeah.
mine. Yeah, we use it all the time, and yeah.
Yes. It's interesting you say, you change things. You do sometimes change things up a bit, but I actually I love just eating the same thing over and over again. I'll start the day with two Scotch fillet and usually maybe follow it up with another Scotch fillet in the afternoon and maybe have a little lamb at some point, have butter with my meat usually, and that's it. Like, it's just so simple. I don't have to think about it. And yes, there are lots of different options that, you could, I like seafood. Sometimes I have a bit of seafood just to have something different, some fish, bacon, a little bit of bacon, but yeah, I just keep it very, very simple. I love the freedom in that food choice.
Yeah, yeah. I like the brisket because I make a lot of soup with it. So if I add a lot of water, I get a nice broth, and that's just really helps get the meat down sometimes.
Are,
So
are you making that in the air fryer or are you doing that in a slow cooker?
I put the brisket in the oven first, just for like 40 minutes, and then I stick it in the slow cooker, and I just cover it with water and let it boil for like in the slow cooker for maybe 8 hours or something. So it's all pull apart, and then it's really soupy. And
Um,
I love
that'd be,
that,
that'd
especially
be
with
really good.
winter
Yeah,
coming.
I was going to say, that'll be really great for a Melbourne winter. I mean, it's cold here, but
Yeah,
it's too cold up there. But that's a great idea. I might consider doing that. I don't, I like having bone broth, but I don't love it. And, I don't have a lot of it, but it would be nice maybe to do something like that and have some pieces of the meat soft. slow cooked meat in there too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes the meat go down a lot better for me as well with the lap
Yeah.
band. And I've got
Oh,
the nourishment of the broth, so
yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Um, when you're, in the community and speaking with people, like, what kind of advice do you give them about overcoming those limitations with regards to getting started? Obviously you reached a point where you had to make change. You had no other option. And one of the things I'm very passionate about is, my story of wellness begins, when I was 26 years old and I had unrelated health issues, and at its worst, my ears started ringing. I got diagnosed with tinnitus,
yeah.
and a ringing in the ear, that never goes away. And I just am so passionate about people not having to reach a point where something's happening to them that stops them in their tracks to make change. And I guess a lot of us out there having these experiences are so vocal about it because we want to help others create change in their lives, because they deserve to be thriving and living healthy, and I don't want someone to ignore the signs like I did and then have to be, and I always say gifted. I was gifted that ear ringing. It set me on a new path, and I'm grateful for it. Otherwise, I would never be where I am right now, doing the things that I've done and continue to do now, especially in the carnivore space. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I'd love to hear your advice to anybody who either considering getting started or know they need to make change, and it may be challenging for them. What do you say to them from your own experience, I guess?
Oh, well, what's your why? You need to have a very strong why. And I don't think losing weight, although for me it was at the start to lose weight, but it was more so I didn't want my girls to grow up without a mum. That was
Yeah.
my strong why. And I knew weight loss was a part of that, but the initial reasoning was my daughters. And I
Mm.
think if you don't have a strong why, you're not going to commit. You need to have that goal to reach. And
Yes.
that goal, the goalpost may move as you go along.
Yeah.
So, like, I know I'm going to be here now a lot longer for my
Yeah.
kids, but now I just want to be the best person that I can be. I want to be a great role model for my girls. I want them to see, they can see what's happened to me and how I've got my life back. And my eldest daughter's going through. She's recently gone blind. She's had type 1 diabetes, and um, 2 years or 3 years ago, if this had have happened, what would she have done? There was no way I could support her or help her. So the
Yeah.
timing of this has been amazing because, I spent the afternoon with her, helping her with her, ringing people and trying to get her sorted and things like that. And,
Mm.
to think that if I wasn't here, who would do that for her? Who would
Yeah.
look after her? So you just got to have a strong why. And yeah, it's hard work. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you constantly have to remind yourself, and even 3 years in, it's so easy to stray because people are always trying to say, just live a little, just a little bit of this, and
Oh,
but they
yeah.
don't realize that, that little bit of something will make you spiral, and you have to learn for yourself what you can do and what you can cope with. And if you want something bad enough, you just got to put the work in and do it. And yeah, it's hard. I see a lot of people struggling, but
Yeah.
I think it all goes back to why you're doing this. And weight loss, I don't think should be the why. It needs to be deeper than that. You really got to dig deep and find out why you're doing this.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It really needs to be the fuel in that internal fire that a lot of women especially have, that pilot light in them turned right down.
Yeah.
Because a bit like what you said, like a lot of the women I speak with and work with just aren't putting themselves first for a really long time, and then finally they realise they have to, otherwise they've got no choice. Often they've got no choice. It could be that they've got an important reason to, or they have had a realization like you that they want to be healthy and available for their family as they grow,
Yeah.
Something you just said before, yes. I often think that this way of life actually gives us, it actually gives us the opportunity to live life on a whole new level. And so we're actually receiving from the restriction rather than, you know, missing out on so much with regards to food. I would prefer to miss out on all that so-called food and receive way more of life back than actually, you know, the opposite. People think that they can miss out on a whole lot, and they don't realise actually what they're doing is not enabling them to live life to the fullest. And sometimes they don't even know what they're missing out on because they've never been there before, you know. So a lot of the time they have to actually go in with faith, you know, that this is going to change their life. And people like you, yourself, and many others sharing their stories, you know.
Well,
that's what I believe.
350 plus kilos is restrictive. You can't do anything. You're stuck in the house. You can't, you know, there's no life. You have no life. Miserable. So this is giving me that freedom. And the food freedom that I've got now, like, I don't worry about food. If I'm hungry, I eat, and then I turn off and I enjoy my life. I don't have to focus on food anymore. Like,
yes, it doesn't.
Yeah. So if we go out with friends, I say, we'll go to a movie or we'll go for a walk, go to a park. We don't have to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat food, or, you know, we're there to be social and to, you know, do things together, go for a walk on the beach or something. That's what I want to do now.
Yes, be more present. Yeah. In connection.
Yeah, so I think the focus should come off food, and that's definitely more enjoyable now. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm really pleased to hear with, you know, with your story and where you're at, and you're still going. I mean, I think everybody is always fine tuning their approach, and you know, there's never really an end point. It's just continuous, you know, improvement, and you know, often growth does come with after challenge. So I think your experience has shown how much you can grow and how much life can be given back to you through a really, really big challenge.
well, that's because I don't think of this as a diet. I think this is a lifestyle. This is how I need to eat for the rest of my life, and I'm fine with that. As long as I've got my health and I'm feeling great, and this is what I've got from Carnivore is my health. I have a second chance of life. And with the weight and how I look and the loose skin, like, it is what it is, and I don't really care as long as I can keep up with people and I can go travel and do all the amazing things. Then I'm fine with that. And I kind of wear my loose skin as a badge of honor. Like, I'm proud of myself, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
you've overcome so much. It's a huge accomplishment. Really amazing. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, that went really quickly. Lindy and I spoke to Lindy before. I said, I think we'll just be about a half an hour and we'll be done. And we're almost at 45. So that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal, though. So if anyone is interested, Lindy will join me and Bella and Dr. Robert Kiltz and Professor Bart Kay, Carnivore Ray, and a number of amazing speakers in the carnivore space at the end of this month, April 26th in Melbourne. We're very excited to have you there and to have everybody there. The energy in the room, like in Adelaide in November, was amazing. Everybody speaks about how exciting and electric that energy was in that room. And I'm excited for you to experience that and to meet more people who are on this journey and pathway. So excited to have you there, and thank you for coming on tonight, sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's
been lovely.
Yeah, you're very welcome. All right, then. Have a lovely rest of the week. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you all. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.